guys, here we are, Stoomboy, the Combat Companion. So, show today brought to you by Hard Life Fightwear. So, Hard Life Fightwear offering a range of products, whether it be gi, no gi, MMA, Hard Life do have you covered. So, just head over to hardlifefightwear.co.uk. You all got all the information through there. The discount code Stoom15. So, if you are getting anything, just make sure you drop that discount code in there. You'll get a little bit of a discount off. Big shout out to Mooch as well. Mooch is out in the Brits this weekend. So, the British Open. So obviously, good luck to him. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing weekend for Hard Life Fightwear for sure. So my next guest today, then. So this guy, in my eyes, as I say, coming through white belt, blue belt, was one of the top blue belts in the country, and he's obviously very quickly making a name for himself up blue belt as well. Taking on some awesome fights. You'll never see Jake Smillie in a boring fight at all. Do you know what I mean? He always brings it. Do you know what I mean? He's always puts in 100%. And he ups his opponents' games as well. I mean, as some of the opponents come in and the way he pushes them makes them up their game as well, which is awesome to see. So, and he's the guy everybody wants to take on and everybody wants to beat. So, but as I said, he goes out there, he does his thing. Last weekend, becoming the 85 kilo BMF champion for sub series. So, and yeah, I'm fortunate. I get to sit front row and centre, commentate on his matches and stuff like that. So, always puts on a performance, as I said. So I'm always excited whenever he's on the card. So Jake Smillie of Fifth Element Jiu Jitsu. So Jake, absolute pleasure, brother. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me.
No problem. It's nice to be on. What a lovely intro. My heart's a flutter. It's got me all excited.
You know I love you, man. Do you know what I mean? I love seeing you out there. Do you know what I mean? When you hear me talking on commentary, do you know what I mean? I've always got great things to say about you. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know your coach, Reese. Obviously, known Reese for a while. I mean, every time I see you and I see your name on the card, I'm like, yes. Do you know what I mean? So, my co-commentator was obviously talking some shit about you at the weekend. I don't know
Oh,
if you heard it all.
Fraser.
Do you know what I
Come
mean?
on,
So.
Fraser. Tell me. Who are me? Ginger. Outrageous. Never been accused of being ginger in my life.
He did, man. I was like, he's definitely not ginger, man. He's definitely not ginger. So, but yeah. Now listen, he did it. Obviously, it's all out of love. You know that. So, but he was surprised, man. You took Shea Smith down. Do you know what I mean? I think they both of them were because we don't see that from you, Jake.
Well, I'd say I've got to a little bit of stealth wrestling, a bit undercover wrestling. But we do, Reese obviously loves his wrestling. If you ever go on his Instagram, it's all he's doing all day is just posting little wrestling clips.
Yeah,
So it's one of the things he really pushes a lot. Like, even if you're not going to wrestle in your matches, having that wrestling ability. So if you need it, like you're down on points in the last couple of minutes of a match, you need to wrestle, you got it
yeah,
there. So
yeah.
I was like,
She,
oh, I'm going to just try blast a takedown on him, see if it works. And
yeah,
then I was
yeah.
thinking, well, I've done it now. I might as well just go back to my guard, sit down, have a nice chill little time.
We saw that. Yeah, obviously you took him down, and then that's the next minute you were sitting down and. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, Shea Smith, I mean, Shea's one of these guys. We didn't expect you to take him down because, do you know what I mean? We know how good she is. She's got very good wrestling, MMA grappling style as well, which is obviously a little bit
Yeah.
different from us pure jiu-jitsu guys. So to get a takedown on Shea was unbelievable, and I think Shea was shocked as well. Do you know what I
Well,
mean? When
he got a little smile out of him, didn't he? He looked super serious, and then as soon as I took him down, he was grinning. I was
yeah,
like, yeah, I've got a better atmosphere in this match now. I'm happier.
definitely. Tell us about you then. Obviously, you're starting getting into jiu-jitsu. I mean, you're still young. You're what, 22,
Yeah.
22, 23 year old. So, and obviously been in the game for a good a good amount of time. But I said slowly, not slowly, but building a big name for yourself, certainly in the UK.
Well,
But what started it? What got you into it in the first place?
so I'd have to give credit to my girlfriend actually. She was into MMA when I first got together with her, and I'd never really watched anything of it. So I spent quite a lot of time watching MMA, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And
Yeah,
I was never really into any sports or anything. It wasn't my thing. I was a bit of a gamer, I just sit in my house all day playing on my video games. And I thought, oh, I could give this one a try. So I started with a bit of Thai boxing, did some striking for a couple of years, and then I found Fifth Element through a couple of mates of mine,
yeah,
and they used to do these beginners foundations programs that were like 8 weeks long. And I did a foundations program and just sort of full committed to it from there, really.
yeah,
Like I was, I it was sort of just after COVID, So I didn't really. I had like a weekend job, but I didn't have anything to do during the week. So I was just for 6 months training like maybe 4 or 5 hours a day most days, just grinding away at it, and then
Yeah,
obviously just growing in from there. I think I hit 4 years of training this year, so
yeah.
starting to get sort of to the a place that I'm happy with now.
Yeah, and it's a good level you're at. I mean, as I said, because I mean, you're out there. I mean, you're taking on some of the top guys in the UK. Do you know what I mean? So we see that not just obviously on the sub only scene, but obviously in the competition scene as well. So and obviously got some big names on your record. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing as well, when you look at you, I mean, the one thing you're always going to do is you're coming to submit someone. I mean, you're
Yeah,
not the type of guy that's going to sit there and ride out a decision. I mean, we see that on your smooth comp. I think what 52 wins and out of them, 42 of them are by submission. So it's a very,
yeah.
very high submission percentage. And that's the same in sub only as well.
Yeah, I really don't like winning decisions. It feels like a loss sometimes to me. I win a decision and I'm like, well, I couldn't submit them. That's the whole
Yeah,
point of doing jiu-jitsu, isn't it? You want to submit somebody.
yeah,
Like you never see, or if you think about for me, because obviously coming in watching MMA, I watch all the old UFCs. You never saw like Hoist Gracie going out trying to win. First of all, there was no decision. It's
yeah,
like you're going for an infinite amount of time. You're going to submit them.
yeah,
So to me, it never made sense. Oh, I'm going to go into a grappler match. I'm going to try and win on points. I'm going to
yeah,
try and win a decision. No, you want to submit them.
yeah,
That's the whole purpose. And I think having that kind of game plan can leave you a bit more open to getting submitted and a bit riskier, but then you have more exciting matches,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
that's the two sort of things I put at the forefront of my competitions now is I'm going to go out and try and submit them, and I'm going to go out and try and have an exciting match. And
yeah.
if I get really either of those two things, I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah. Think about the early days. How long? Because obviously, I remember when I first went into the gym, and I remember doing like the first couple of weeks and thinking, "This is shit, man. Like, this is terrible." I didn't enjoy it because it was that close contact and stuff like that. People sweating on you, and oh, I mean, it was horrible. And it was something I didn't enjoy. And I said, I think I lasted 2 weeks, and then again, it was my wife said, "Look, go back. Do you know what I mean? You want to do this?" And so I think
Yeah.
I was out for about. I went for 2 weeks, stopped going for 2 weeks, and then went back, and that was me ever since. Do you know what I mean? So, what was it like for you at the very beginning?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I found the transition to jiu-jitsu not too difficult because
Yeah,
I did some Thai and then some MMA, so I kind of
yeah,
had a little bit of like, oh, I know what I'm expecting. But
yeah,
my the first ever session of any martial art I did it was a sparring session, and I went in and I just got beat up for an hour by a bunch of dudes who'd been doing Thai boxing for years, and I'd literally never put gloves on in my life. So
yeah,
I remember this like 14-year-old kid kept Superman punching me over and over again, and I couldn't do anything about it, and it annoyed the life out of me.
yeah,
And but then that for me, it was kind of like a driving thing. I was like, oh, I need to be able to stop people from doing that.
yeah,
So that made me want to really go back. And then I've got like this is a bit of a weird segue, but I've got weirdly flexible hips. So when I started doing jujitsu, I kind of took to guard really naturally. And
yeah,
something that Reese is great at is if he sees a bit of potential in an area for somebody, he'll really nurture them there. So he
yeah,
gave me lots and lots of specific guidance towards that, and that really helped me sort of commit to my jujitsu. I didn't
yeah,
find it too difficult, really. Um, I think if anything, the autism helped rather than putting me off, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. What was a turning point? Because obviously there's always a turning point for everybody. I mean, mine's was I remember for me, it was probably coming at the end of white belt, coming into blue belt, and then that's when I really hit the competition scene. Do you know what I mean? So I think it was like 2015, and I think that year I'd went. Do you know what I mean? I think the first seven comps I'd won gold. But the turning point was getting the blue belt, which is it's strange in a lot of ways because you know yourself. I mean, going from white belt to blue belt can be a tough jump for a lot of people, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to competition. But what was the turning point for you?
Well, it was a bit of a weird one. I started competing really early. Like,
Yeah,
I think 3 months into training, I did my first comp.
yeah,
And I tried to be really consistent. Like, I competed loads at white belt, probably more than I did at blue, I think.
yeah,
And just sort of really got my nose to the grindstone with that. But the thing that really made me feel like, oh, I want to go all in on this. This is what I want to do for my life. I did an ADCC Scotland like right after I got my blue belt, and I
yeah,
jumped in. I was like, oh, I'm going to do the pro division. Like I'm going to
yeah,
jump in. I just want to test myself against the best guys. And then first round of that, I had Mark Lindars. So that was the first fight I ever fought a black belt. Managed to get a sub, and I was just like, as soon as I got that feeling of, oh, this is crazy, I can't believe I've done this. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what
yeah,
I want to do my whole life. And
yeah,
then since then, I've obviously just been trying to throw myself into it and test myself against all the best guys. And
yeah,
that's what I get the best feeling from, really. Just going in and the harder an opponent I can get, the better. Like I don't even really mind if I win. I just want to fight them
yeah,
and
yeah.
test myself, see where I'm at.
Yeah, and we've seen that. I mean, as I say, a lot of big names on your record. I mean, as I say, wins and losses. Do you know what I mean? But the losses define you. I mean, these
Yeah.
are the ones that make you a better person, of course. Do you know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of big names on that list of yours.
I fought some good guys, yeah. Like Jack Tiley's a good one. I had a really good fight with him. I was happy with that. Got Darst also. How Jack? What you doing? Shotgun. Good on me. I'm trying to think that there's definitely a few other fellas I fought. I fought a Melky Galval black belt when I was in Amsterdam. That was really fun. He absolutely smashed me and made me look terrible. Uh, there's quite a few. There's a few like that where I've gone in and thought, oh, I can do pretty well, and then I just get smashed. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
well, that's the journey, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Though. I mean, you go in there against, do you know what I mean, these people, and it's like, I mean, some of these people. I mean, you're talking about best in the UK, best in Europe, best in the world, and so on. And do you know what I mean? I remember the fun one I had was I remember Rodolfo Vieira. He came to
Oh
Scotland and did a seminar, and I was hoping he rolled with people, and he did, but he only rolled with certain people. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So, and I was one of the fortunate ones or unfortunate ones to get the chance to roll with him. Do you know what I mean? And I remember he kind of, when we started to go to roll in front of everybody, he sat down and I'm like, what? Because obviously Rodolfo's a stand up guy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm
yeah,
like, I want fucking thrown, man. I want thrown about. Do you know what I mean? But he sat down and I remember jumping in and trying to pass his guard and then he guillotined me and I was just like so happy. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
after it, he just said there was no way because he said because you're smaller, do you know what I mean? It's stockier. He kept calling me a little truck. And he was like, "Yeah, you'll be like a little truck." So there was no way I was going to stand with you. So he sat down,
oh,
and I was
scared of the
like,
spoon wrestling. That's what that
"Yeah,
sounds
mate,
like.
yeah." But I was like, "Mate, I was happy to get thrown, man." Do you know what I mean? But it was a great experience, and I absolutely loved it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I really like, that when you feel the levels in the sport, and it just, for me, that's one of the real driving factors because
Yeah,
I always I always feel like I've got a lot of self-belief. Like I can really I can see myself getting somewhere, like getting to a really high level and competing at the highest level. And for me, just getting the opportunity to test where I'm at against people who are there, that's what I
yeah,
really enjoy the most. And I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. What's your preference? Because obviously we see you in a lot of gi, no gi matches. Do you know what I mean? But do you train gi?
Yeah, I train gi. I don't train it as much as I do no gi, but
Yeah,
I do. I enjoy the gi a lot. It's really
yeah,
fun. I just have a bit of a different style in the gi.
yeah,
I still play guard a lot more, but I play loads of like collar sleeve stuff. I'm
yeah,
starting to get into a bit of lapel things as well, so
yeah, yeah,
trying to work a bit of that. But I do definitely prefer no gi. I like my leg locks, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
like to play my reaps and my heel hooks.
Yeah, gi's one of them things where you always go back to. I mean, later on, as you go into like 30s and so on and so on. I mean, the chances are you'll put the gi on again because there'll come a point where it's like you'll be like, do you know what I mean? I can hang with these young guys, but it's getting tougher. So now I need to put the
Yeah,
gi back on. So
that's my plan when I start to hit my masters, when I'm getting to my 30, 35. I'll whack a gi on, become a gi guy again,
yeah, 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 yeah. But
get some
gi's
of that
always nice.
pressure going.
Yeah, and Reese was one guy. I remember Reese in competitions back in the day, and do you know what I mean? He was phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And he used to have matches with one of my teammates at the time, Matty Fleming. Do you know what I mean? And the two of them are very, very similar, man. And the two of them used to go at it, man. And Reese used to always win. Do you know what I mean? Because Reese was always, do you know what I mean? He was always that kind of one step ahead because I think people that he was training with at the time. Um, were just phenomenal. And I think the people that we had that was coaching us was like purple belts and so on. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, right? Some of these purple belts were going out and beating black belts and stuff like that. But that was our kind of coaches, whereas Reese, I think, had maybe slightly higher, more advanced coaches. So, and he was always brilliant in the gi. Do you know what I mean? I always seen him in the gi, and he did no gi as well, but yeah, predominantly the gi for Reese.
yeah. Well, he's obviously he's been out for a little bit with an injury lately, so he
Yeah,
hasn't been able to train too much. But he loves his gi and his no gi. But
yeah.
he's sort of he's got a bit obsessed with wrestling at the minute, so he's really on his no gi grind lately.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about the relationship between the two of you as well, because obviously everywhere you go, Reese is there. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
always there, corner as much as possible. And he's a great person, obviously a great person to have in your corner, hugely experienced, and he's always hugely supportive of everything. Not just you do, but everybody at Fifth Elements as well.
yeah. Well, for for me, it's like Reese is the best coach I could ask for, as far as
Yeah,
I'm concerned. Like he's so committed to his athletes, like to a degree where it seems like sometimes he's even putting himself sort of on a back foot. And he's
yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm going to push you guys. This is what you need to do." And he's really great at sort of telling you what you need to get to that next level. So
yeah,
it's like, oh, you're doing this really well, but you might be missing like this area, or you maybe
yeah,
need to make some improvements here, and he'll really push you to get to that next level. And it's
yeah,
absolutely fantastic, really. And he's one of like he's a great coach, but he's one of my best friends as well. We
yeah,
spend loads of time just hanging out and doing loads of stuff, and he's put so much time into me as a competitor and so much effort into me. It really makes me feel like a lot of value. And he makes
yeah,
me feel like I'm worth putting time into and worth doing things. And he's great at doing that with all of our competitors. Really,
yeah,
it's quite inspiring because I'd really like myself to go on and have a gym and sort of be a coach. And if I'm anything sort of to the degree that Reese is, I'd be really happy. You know,
yeah.
it's like it's quite inspirational.
Yeah, he's done absolutely brilliant. I mean, since going to Fifth Element and or since being a part of Fifth Element, and just do you know what I mean, you guys coming through and do you know what I mean, and getting better and better. Because every time I see you guys, not just you, but obviously everybody else that comes out for Fifth Element, you guys seem to get better and better every single time. And obviously we saw it last Saturday. Obviously you becoming the champ, and then we had the kid, the young subs champ as well. So obviously taking home two belts on the day as well, which
Yeah.
was brilliant.
Oh well, I'm glad that they're starting to win everything else because for a while it was kind of like I would kick about and win some stuff, and then Ollie would win a few bits, and we had like a few competitors doing really well. And now all the people who are beating me up in the training room every week are winning things. It makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot happier. But Josh is the one who won the youngsters title. He's really good. He's an
yeah,
absolute machine. When he gets to my adult division, I'm gonna change weight classes. That's my plan. I'm ducking that kid. He's not getting in my weight class. He can go away. Ollie's the same. You know, if Ollie starts bulking, I'm cutting. If he starts cutting, I'm bulking. I'm staying away from him. I want no part of that, Mr. Calandra.
yeah.
He can keep fighting who he's fighting.
Yeah. But that was the thing. I mean, it was awesome to see. I mean, it was just it's the way it was as well. It was consistently. Do you know what I mean? You guys were going out and you were doing competitions. Do you know what I mean? And in a lot of
Yeah,
cases, taking on guys that had maybe more experienced or higher belt levels and stuff like that, especially in the sub only game. And it was just the consistency, keep coming and keep coming. And then now we're seeing. Do you know what I mean? The kind of benefits or the advantages of everything that you guys have been doing.
yeah. Well, from my perspective, I think competing is like a totally different skill set to just doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You meet loads of guys. I think even I'm one of them to a degree where people do so much better in the gym and they
Yeah.
go out and compete and it's like they just don't perform how you would expect them to.
Yeah.
And that's something Reese has really pushed is like if you want to be a competitor for the gym, like competing regularly and getting that competitor mindset where you go in on the day and you're ready and you're prepared and you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. And I think even just getting that experience where you're going out and competing over and over and over and over again,
Yeah.
it's just so valuable in terms of becoming a competitor. Like
Yeah.
it's very rare that you see somebody go out and do like a huge tournament like Euros for the first time and they just smash everyone and win. It's
Yeah.
usually like Wardzinski's a fantastic example of this. If you watch his run at Worlds, it's like loss, podium, podium, win. It's
Yeah.
like just working your way up the ladder and getting all that comp experience is really so valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely consistency. Keep going, keep going. And I remember recent out back in the day, and he used to travel the world, man. He was in Japan, America, jumping all over Europe and stuff like that. And as a blue belt, and just getting himself out there. I think it was like him. There was like Kev Cunningham was another guy that was out there doing his thing, and there was a few of them all used to travel together. And it was always amazing seeing Reese out there. Just, do you know what I mean? Just smashing it, and he was going out there and he was winning golds, and I don't know how many IBJJF medals he has, man, but he's obviously got
Oh,
quite a bit.
he put them up in the gym the other day. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. I thought I had quite a few medals, and they put them up on opposite sides of the gym, and mine was
Yeah,
just like tiny. Reese has got a big, long line of them. I was like,
yeah.
come on, man. Gonna
It's
have to
great
win
to have
some
a
more
coach.
now.
Yeah, listen, it's great to have a coach like that though, because that means because there's quite a few coaches out there that have maybe not done competition. Which don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's some fantastic coaches out there that have never competed. So, but to have your coach out there and telling you, look, do this and do that, and then seeing what he's done must be a kind of benefit for you as well.
Yeah, it's great. It puts like a lot more weight behind the things he says. Like when he
Yeah,
says, "Oh, this is what you need to do to be successful at competition," you know it's because he's been there and he's done that, and that's the kind of things he's had to work through and
yeah,
improve. So it's like, in essence, it kind of feels like saving yourself a step. You know, you say you learn from your mistakes. You can
yeah,
learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from their experiences as well. So having
yeah,
a coach who's had so much experience and traveled around and done all that competition is great. It's really,
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Let's talk about sub series. I mean, sub series is where we see some of your best stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you're kind of not just sub series, but the sub only scene in general. So, but it's where we see you're very free to do whatever you want to do on the mats and stuff like that. And you obviously, I mean, you're brilliant because we saw the picture of you sitting down. I can't remember who it was you were up at. Was it Shea Smith? And you were just
Oh,
sitting with your thumbs up.
it was because they said somebody else's name. They said
Yeah.
somebody else's name, and I was like, I don't think I'm fighting that guy. I'm pretty sure it's not him.
So, but this is where we get to see you in all your glory when it comes to a sub only scene.
Yeah. Well, I think sub only for me is definitely the what's the word I'm looking for? The style that I prefer competing at.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I don't have to worry too much about like conceding any points or I've been put in a bad position. Like I don't have to worry about too much. I can just hunt my submissions, which is
yeah,
obviously what my style's really centered around. Like I
yeah,
want to go out and sub everybody, like we were saying earlier. And it really gives me that sort of push to get there, and
yeah,
especially sub series because obviously sub series is quite local to me, but the show, the way it's grown is huge. Like
yeah,
I was at, I remember Reese, I think was the main event against Jack Brown on the first one,
yeah,
and I remember being there. I think I was a white belt still then, and watching and just thinking, wow, this is awesome. I'd love to get on one of these.
yeah,
And this the way they've grown since then and sort of gained traction and being able to be sort of like a part of that has been really nice for me. I've really enjoyed it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they've given me so many like high level opportunities. I fought for titles three times now,
yeah,
so
yeah,
and obviously finally getting there on the third time, it's a sweet victory. You know, it's like
yeah,
finally I've actually managed it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that sort of having the push from them and the belief from like Dion and Cal as well. It's been great. It's been really nice, really
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah, it's great as well. I mean, the walkouts and do you know what I mean? Just the full production behind it. Do you know what I mean? Just I mean, some of the walkouts are epic. I mean, you've seen some of, especially some of the kids walking out, and they're just
Yeah.
so confident. And do you know what I mean? Again, you see it from the very first show, especially with the kids. We saw the kids walking out and they were so nervous and timid, and then now we're seeing after the fifth one. I mean, these guys are walking out with swaggers, and do you know what I mean? They're playing up to the crowd and all that, and it builds confidence all the way through, not just for the kids, but obviously for you guys, the adults as well.
Yeah, and it's sort of like it's an emulation of what you're going to be doing when you're at the higher levels. So
Yeah,
really sort of getting the opportunity where you're in the spotlight and there's people watching and you've got that kind of real show atmosphere. It
yeah,
really helps you prepare for like down the line getting there and that
yeah,
kind of stuff. Especially considering like some of the people that run it, like Cal obviously has a big MMA background, and
yeah,
that obviously is so much more prevalent there. Like you can go to your Cage Warrior shows, your UFC shows, and it's like a huge spectacle. And
yeah.
trying to take jiu-jitsu more in that direction, I think is really good for the sport on the whole.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously BMF champion, 85 kilo, is under 85 kilo BMF champion. And do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people coming after you now that you've got that belt. We know that obviously the guy I know, Danny McCallion, obviously you guys are 1-1. So obviously he's obviously kind of he's there in the scene as well. But you mentioned guys like obviously you Jack Tiley could be champion versus champion. Do you know what I mean? So there's a number of people out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to fight anyone. I'll fight anyone in the entire world. You know, you can get me Gordon Ryan if he can make 85 kilos, I'll fight him. He might win, but I'll still fight him.
Yeah, yeah,
But Danny would be a great man. I like Danny. Danny's a great guy. I've trained with him a little bit, obviously competed a couple of times.
yeah,
I'd love to run it with Danny again or Jack. I'd love a rematch against Jack.
yeah,
Really, I'd take anyone. Like I
yeah,
say, as long as it's a high level competitor and someone I feel like I can test myself against,
yeah,
bring them on. You know, I'll
yeah,
fight them.
yeah. We see that as well. I mean, in jiu-jitsu, I mean, especially the no-gi scene or the sub-grappling scene is, um, you've got blue belts that'll take on black belts. You've got brown belts, purple belts, and so on. So, and do you know what I mean? There's no like ego because you know, like gi, obviously gi is different. Do you know what I mean? You're not really going to see a blue belt in the gi against a black belt in the gi, and a lot of
Yeah.
times. So, whereas no gi is obviously very, very different.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's I think the progression in the sport is really different. Like you could definitely get some really successful blue belts in the gi doing well
Yeah,
against black belts. But if you take like a top level competitive black belt in the gi and a top level competitive blue belt in the gi, the blue belt's probably not going to be able to do anything to them. But
yeah,
Nogi, I feel like it's a little bit different. You can sort of make up the difference with your explosiveness and your mental game. Like I feel like it can make a much bigger difference than it can in the gi.
yeah, yeah,
Much bigger. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean you couldn't do it. It
yeah,
just makes it
yeah.
be harder probably.
Yeah. What about you? Because obviously you do like sub only and the local comps. I mean, what's your preference? Do you know what I mean? Because I know you're out there all the time doing stuff. So, but if you had to kind of pick one and say, do you know what, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, what would you pick?
It's tough. I'd probably choose tournaments just
Yeah,
because like a goal for myself really is like I'd like to get to a level where I'm competing at like ADCC and doing well at IBJJF majors and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And obviously for that I need to do tournaments.
yeah,
Like I've got this year will be my first time taking a shot at trials, which I'm really excited about. And then it'll be fourth or fifth time doing Euros. So I'm
yeah.
really gonna try and that's my next camp. Just go really hard and try and get to getting some success at those.
Yeah, yeah. So we wish you luck. Obviously, everything you do, you know, I mean, we love you. Not just me, but obviously the guys at sub series and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? We always love seeing you out there. Um, what about if you had to give your younger self some advice? Because this is always a kind of tough one. As in thinking back to when you're younger self and you're like, do you know what? The best piece of advice I can give you is this. So maybe not just your younger self, but anybody that maybe is very early on in their journey.
Get disheartened would be my best advice because that's something that I really struggled with. Like I've
Yeah,
been my whole life like quite an anxious person, and I've
yeah,
really sort of struggled with my mental health at different times, and even in jujitsu, like it's been quite difficult for me sometimes. And
yeah,
I think that definitely the advice I'd give myself is just don't take everything to heart so much. You don't
yeah,
get disheartened when you lose. Like it's not like now if I lose, I don't mind.
yeah,
You know, as long as I'm not injured, I can go back and train. I can work on it. I can go compete again next week.
yeah,
But definitely when I was younger, like anytime I'd take a loss, it would really get to me. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to compete anymore. I want to just have a break. You know, I want to
yeah,
chill out at home. Especially anyone early in your jiu-jitsu journey, it's going to be hard. You're going to get beat a lot in the gym and in competition. You know, you're going to lose. And it's the nature of the sport. It's hard. It
yeah,
takes time to get your body ready to actually do it. And you have
yeah.
to get your mind ready. So just, you know, take a step back, enjoy the process. Try
Yeah.
not to let it get to you, you know.
Yeah. Do you think that's an early thing when and because I know like me as a white belt and even as a blue belt and do you know what I mean going through comps and I remember the first time losing and I was devastated. Do you know what I mean? I remember I was over in America, we're doing the World Masters, and I remember being in tears, man, after the match thinking, man, how did I lose that? Do you know what I mean? I'd won everything in the UK to get to here. So I was devastated. And I said the same thing. I'm never doing this again. Blah blah blah. And 10 years later, we're still here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you think that's a kind of early thing in your journey? Because obviously you know yourself, once you get to maybe even like a higher blue belt, purple belt, do you know what I mean? Wins and losses. I mean, you're never going to go undefeated. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely earlier in your career it's easier to fall into that trap. But
yeah,
I think it still matters later in your career. And I think if you look at some of the top competitors, like the really good black belts who never lose, sometimes if they do take a loss to another top guy, it looks like it affects them a lot. Like it
yeah,
looks like it gets to them because they're not used to it.
yeah,
And I think having that sort of mental fortitude and resilience to know, or even just self-belief where you know, even if you take a loss, like it's still worth me doing this. You know, I'm
yeah,
still a good level. I'm still a competitor. Just because I've lost hasn't changed that fact.
yeah,
That really, I think, is a big thing you can learn. But it does take lots of competition experience. And
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
see many white blue belts going out and just having a great competitor mindset already and being perfectly prepared and being chilled out. Like it
yeah,
takes time to learn that.
yeah. What do
Definitely.
you do? What do you do outside the gym? Obviously, for because you mentioned gaming, so obviously I think you're still gaming as often as you can, anyway.
That's a bit of a sore subject for me at the minute. I sold my Xbox a few months ago
Right?
in a moment of desperation, and I've been deeply saddened by its loss, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially lately, like for a month afterwards, I was like, oh, I don't even need this Xbox. This is fine. I don't care about these games anymore. And now I sit in my house and I'm like, wish I had my Xbox. Where's my Xbox at? But not really. To be honest, I don't spend an awful lot of time in the house nowadays. Like
Yeah,
most of the time, I'm either at the gym. I've been trying to take like my coaching role a bit more seriously and improve that. So I've been doing quite a bit with the kids' classes, and obviously Reese has recently had his knee operation, so I've been covering a little bit of adult classes as well while he gets back to his health where he can coach now, which he's starting to get there again.
yeah,
But really, I'm either working or here or
Yeah,
at the gym. That's about
yeah.
it, really. I don't have that much interest in going on,
What was
unfortunately.
your what was your game of choice on the Xbox?
Oh, well, I used to play all sorts, but I got really into survival games for a while. So I used to play a bit of Rust, and then a game called Ark Survival Evolved. I used to be absolutely obsessed with.
Yeah,
You couldn't get me off it.
yeah, yeah. No Call of Duty.
I used to play a little bit of Warzone, a little bit of Warzone,
Yeah, yeah,
especially when I was younger. When I was really young, I'd get on Call of Duty all the time. But
yeah.
these whippersnappers, they got too fast reaction times for me nowadays, Stu. It's not. I'm not about it. If they had like a gear Call of Duty where you could slow it down, you could get your collar grips and that, maybe I'd be on it.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, yeah, I watch the TikToks. You see the TikToks when they do the lives, and do you know what I mean? You see some of them, man, and they're so, and they get so into it. Do you know what I mean? Like so
Yeah.
into it, and but yeah, I mean, it's good. I play Warzone. Do you know what I mean? And just
Oh,
have fun.
Stim's on Warzone.
Yeah, yeah, mate. I'm on Warzone. Me and a couple of boys, we play the same every night, same team, man, and we go out there and we do all right, man. We do all right. We go out there, and we get first places, and yeah, we do good, man. Do you know what I mean? So we might even have a submission series, Call of Duty night, man, where we can get as
Oh,
many people in, man. Do you know what I mean? So
sub-series Warzone tournament. That would
sub
be pretty
series
fun.
Warzone, man. Do you know what I mean? So that would be entertaining, definitely. So um, give me a who's coming through Fifth Element that we need to watch out for.
Well, Lewis has started to break through onto the comp scene now. Lewis Marshall, and he's
Yeah,
he's always exciting. He's
yeah,
definitely got some good things coming through. There's a white belt, Sam Neill. You've got to watch out for Sam Neill. He's coming. He's going to be leg locking everybody. Obviously Ollie, he's already there now, but the level
yeah,
he's getting to at the minute, he's recently left college. He's
yeah,
finished now, so he's gone full time for a while. The level he's getting to now is ridiculous.
yeah,
There's loads of people. We've got a purple belt coach who's a bit under the radar called Danny. Danny Blakemore. He has competed a little bit, but not for quite a while. And he's
yeah,
going to start getting back to competing now. He's definitely one to watch out for.
yeah,
His level is insane. He's so good.
yeah. So we definitely
Especially
will.
just everything Reese has been doing with the program lately. It's meant that there's a wave of new people coming through now, and when they start hitting their blue belts, their purple belts, like they're just going to be rolling through everybody. It's going to be crazy to watch. So
Yeah,
yeah, Sam Lewis, Marnie is one we've got. Marnie's insane blue belt. He's going to start rolling through people, and the kids program as well. They're really getting to a crazy level at the minute,
yeah,
and watching some of them come through. I've been following the British Championship results today. I think we had
yeah,
three kids competing, two British champions so far.
yeah.
So
Nice.
they're going to be insane as well.
Because we know we've got the British on today. We've got the Elite Worlds on as well.
Yeah,
I think it's the British in Coventry. Elite Worlds is in Wolverhampton. So obviously we've got quite a few kids out there, the young subs kids that are
yeah.
on both. That are on both today. I think there's another comp as well. There's three of them running today. Is it Grappling Indices is down in London.
Oh, that's
So
it.
so we've got three comps running all very close together as well. Wolverhampton, Coventry, and London. So not much of a difference between them.
No, I've been saying that loads at the minute. Everyone's putting comps on the same days.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I don't know what to do.
Mate, they
I don't
don't
know what to
talk to
do.
each other, man. They don't talk to each other. I know there's some comps try and reach out to other comps. I think Empire talk to grappling industries. They talk to Scottish grappling, and they try and make sure that they're not doing anything on the same
Yeah,
day. But as I say, we just need everybody else to, because they can run a competition every weekend. Do you know what I mean? There's
yeah,
that many comps you can do every weekend. They don't all need to do it on the same day. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, listen, for everybody that's competing in all three comps today, listen, good luck. Looking forward to seeing all the pictures. Do you know what I mean? I love seeing pictures of after a competition or after sub onlys and stuff like that. And Isabel, man, she does amazing pictures. Obviously,
yeah. She
uh,
she catches some good ones. Like,
yeah, yeah. So definitely check out them as well. So final thing then, Jake. Obviously, again, you've been in the game for a while. Got some amazing people around you, as you know, as we all know. But anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Friends, family members, teammates, any sponsors that you may have?
yeah, well, definitely. Reese, obviously, for one, big shout out to Reese. Just all the effort he's put in and helped me get where I am. That's much appreciated. Same with all my sponsors. So I've got a few now. Grapple Rat, obviously, been there quite a while. They're a fantastic sponsor. I love working with them. Rinse and Raw, great. EHC. Go on, I'm not missing anyone off here. Bespoke, Cami at Bespoke Strength Coach, fantastic. Cat's yoga, unbelievable, keeping me flexible. That's really, really helpful. And then I got a new one recently, Aurelio Timeware. So if anyone's after any Rolexes, give them a shout. They'll get it sorted for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Are they
I
going to, let me
also,
ask, are they going to start you with a Rolex? Are we going to see
oh,
Jake kicking about with a Rolex on?
I'll have a chat to them. I'll have a chat to them. Maybe maybe I'll rock up with some fancy timeware next time.
Nice, nice.
And then a last one I'd like to shout out is I'm doing a show August 17th. Koth.sg is on Instagram. So King of the Hill Submission Grappling. Really looking forward to getting that one done. So I give
Yeah,
myself a bit of a shout out there as well.
definitely, definitely. Obviously, girlfriend as well. You can't miss out a girlfriend.
Oh, I know she was a default shout out already, already built in there. Definitely didn't forget that at all. Shout out to Piers. Nice one. Thank you.
Definitely. So, guys, there we go. Jake Smillie, Fifth Element Jiu Jitsu. I'd say Jake's one of the guys. Do you know what I mean? I'd say that I said this. Do you know what I mean? I probably oversaid this, but Jake's one of the guys I love seeing out there. Do you know what I mean? He always puts on performances. Anytime you get a chance to see him, whether it be in a competition or sub onlys and stuff like that, definitely check him out. The big thing is, I mean, a lot of these sub onlys now do pay per view, which
Yeah.
is something that didn't happen like maybe pre-COVID. We didn't see a lot of pay per view. It was only the bigger shows like Grapple Fest, Polaris, and stuff like that we saw them on. But now we're seeing everybody's doing pay per view. So it's turning these guys who everybody knew were already superstars, and now everybody else is getting to see it. Which Jake, that's amazing to have pay per view on almost every show now.
It is, yeah, especially when you've got Stoom and Fraser Clark on commentary. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's even better. You can sit there, you're like, whoa, who's these fantastic takes here or in these fights? Someone knows what they're doing here.
definitely. Oh, listen, it's an absolute joy to commentate on you, and we're going to commentate on you more and more, definitely coming over the coming years for sure. So, but yeah, listen, I wish you all the success in the world, man. You deserve it. Do you know what I mean? As you put yourself out there, regardless of the opponent. So yeah, wish you all the success in the world, brother.
Much appreciated, Stoom. Thank you very
Uh,
much.
well, listen, have an amazing day. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me. Enjoy the open mat tomorrow.
You too. Anytime.
All
I
right,
shall
take
do
it
my
easy,
best.
brother. Bye
You
bye.
too. See you later, boss.